Hey guys, welcome back to the MX garage. As you can see, everything is a mess because I just came back from the race. And while I organized, let me tell you how it went. As you can see, the lawnmower is still nearly in one piece. The hood is missing and the fender could be in better shape, but I will get to that. I was hosting the race. I started out actually Friday. The race was Saturday, but I started Friday with making the track. On Friday, I went down to the field with my normal lawnmower to cut the grass where we drove and prepared the track, also with visual aids to know where the track is going and where the pits were and so on. And Saturday I went there with my team, prepared our pit and went for some test runs before the race, also so my teammates could try the lawnmower. It went all fairly smooth except a few things. Let me show you. After a few test runs, as you can see here, I cut a piece out because one of the sections was really bumpy, so we would jump and land on it. So I just cut it away with the angle grinder, put this back on to make it a little bit safer, and then we were good to go. The race format is a Le Mans style race, a 2.4-hour endurance race where we run to the lawnmower in the beginning, jump on the lawnmower, we have to put our cutoff switch around the arm and then start the lawnmower and start driving. And as you can see, I went to the lawnmower. I fumbled with the cutoff switch for a while, managed to start it and start driving in the first position. And I actually had decent pace. I expected this lawnmower to be much slower compared to the other one since I literally just pulley swapped it, put the seat a bit lower. But for the most part, speed-wise, I could hold up. Then I got overtaken. But I just kept racing and keeping my pace because I knew it's an endurance race and over pushing it cost me a lot in the last race, so I just kept on going. One of the main benefits I had compared to the other ones is that I had massive tires, which of course put my center of gravity much higher, but there was a section of the track which was really bumpy and I managed to go much faster through it. I had half a bar of pressure in my wheels, which also made the wheels act a little bit as suspension, but just because of my massive tire size, especially in the back, and also my comparable young age and a good bike, I was able to go through the bumps with much more speed. And I drove my, 10 or 15 laps fairly well. And I could feel that at one point I was getting tired, so I went into the pits and it was the time for the other two. So my colleague went on it and he drove really well. And then the third guy went on it and after a while he came back to the pits because the gas pedal came loose. Not the thread itself, but the mounts, the bolts. The few things which went wrong was because I either didn't use thread lock or self-locking nuts. When you rattle through a field, after a while things will come loose. But that was a quick fix, just add 2 new nuts and off you went. When the first team hit 100 laps, which was roughly after an hour, the other 3 teams were all above 90 laps, so it was a really close race. If any of the teams would have to make a pit stop for a while, the other teams would be ahead. Some teams were faster than others, but some teams also looked more solid than others, so it was a really close race. And we actually, even though this was a pretty makeshift and quick build, we actually were really close. And my aim was not to get first, but to finish my first race, because usually I would have issues breaking down, and maybe get third and get a little trophy. We kept on driving. Then we had some other issues, which were that we wouldn't have throttle. The problem was that the carburetor has a thing which is moving forward and back, and that's held by a screw. And obviously I never took that part apart, so because I didn't use thread lock. Let me show the issue we had. You can probably see this bolt right here. This went loose and it's already getting loose again, even though I used thread lock this time. But to get this off, we had to take the air filter cap off, the air filter, then this one, and then the carburetor. Of course, the hood was on. So getting to the bolts here and inside there took forever, which meant that it took just a long time. Plus the engine was hot. But after a while, we finally got it off. This cost us probably somewhere between 45 and 50 laps and put us way back in the grid. We still ran and we still ran good and we kept pushing and we got closer. But at that point it was quite clear that we won't be able to catch up unless some of the other teams break down. You don't want to wish that on anybody, but that was realistically the only way we could have gone third or second. Apart from that, the rear went more and more loose. Let me show you what happened there. And this is how the rear looks. There used to be a bolt here, which was attached here. And I could see that the fender started cracking on both sides. And actually you can see this piece is completely mangled. I took 2 wrenches, like here, and attached them. However, on this side, the wrench was about to fall off. My colleague removed it so we wouldn't lose it, which resulted in 10 laps later that this fell down. So I definitely need to strengthen that part. The hood also sustained some damage, especially here. But it first fell off after the race. I guess one of my colleagues tried to open it. The mounts, which are on this bar, cracked. So because it's plastic, so I need to have a closer look at it. Apart from that, mechanically, the motor and gearbox and steering worked out pretty well. So I'm really happy about that and also proud in a way that I finished my first race, 2.4 hours, 2 hours and 24 minutes, giving it full throttle, even though the bumps made me drive on 2 wheels at some points and keeping up with the pack. The first team had 201 laps, so congrats to them, they just cracked 200. Followed by the second team, 194, and the third, 193, so those were really close. I really think that the pit stop was 45 to 50 laps. So I feel like if we wouldn't have had that, we would have been right up with them. And we definitely had the pace to keep up. I also want to get back to this one, because this is the racing lawnmower I want to race with. It weighs roughly half the amount of the other one, but I need to fix a lot of things, so I wasn't able to get this one up and running for the next race. Now, however, there's gonna be a long time before the next race, so I will have time to upgrade the steering. As you can see, it doesn't really work. The gearbox has a hole in it, and the motor runs, but I want to put some new carburetors on it, a little bit bigger ones, different air filter, and then this will be a ripper. I have 2 options I can go with, but I will explain more in the next video. This is a proper drift race mower where you sit low and you can go fast. I went 75 kilometers an hour with it, where with the other one I topped out at 40, 45 I think. But with this one, just has the biggest potential, also the biggest potential to brake, but I put a lot of hours into it, so now I know what I need to do and how to do it. Since there needs to be done so many things, I think I will just make it to a build series again, where you can build along or get inspiration or tell me what I'm doing wrong. So, but there's gonna be some time before the next race and I'm excited. So with no further ado, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you're gonna join me for the next ones, because they're gonna be exciting. Fixing this one, figuring out what went wrong and improving it, and then getting back to this little machine. It's gonna be fun, I'm excited. Thank you for watching, love you. Bye.